Mathematics Class 12, Chapter 6, Application of Derivatives. Exercise 6.1. We have done up to question number 8. Today we shall do from 9 onwards. Question number 9. A balloon which always remains spherical has a variable radius. Find the rate at which its volume is increasing with radius when the latter is 10 cm. We have to find the rate of change in the volume with respect to radius and when that radius is given to 10 cm. So we shall assume first, let V and R, I require volume and the radius. So we will assume volume and the radius. Let V and R be the volume and radius of spherical balloon. Since it is a sphere, balloon is a spherical, we will use the volume of the sphere formula. So volume of the sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Differentiate with respect to r because volume, rate of change in volume with respect to radius is asked. So dV by dr is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube will be dr by r cube. R cube with respect to r derivative is 3 r square. 3 cut, so what you get it 4 pi r square. They have asked us when radius is 10 cm, lateral is 10 cm means radius is 10 cm. Therefore dV by dr at r is equal to 10 equal to 4 pi, and instead of r you put 10 square is 100 into 4 is 400 pi. So 400 pi centimeter cube per centimeter. So that is the rate of change in volume with respect to radius. Question number 10. A ladder 5 meters long is leaning against wall. The bottom of ladder is pulled along the ground away from the wall at the rate of 2 cm per second. How fast is its height on the wall decreases when the foot of the ladder is 4 meters away from the wall. You have got this wall, this is a wall AB, this is a ladder AC and it is leaning on the wall. Okay, this is the foot of the wall, this is the ladder of the wall, foot of the ladder, and this is the distance between them. This BC is the distance, and when you are pulling this down, I am assuming this A. So when I pull down, the rate of change in x will be dx by dt, which given to you 2 cm per second. And as you pull down the ladder, which is like this, when you pull like this, the ladder will come down. So if I'm assuming this as y, so if I have to find dy by dt. Okay, so let us start. We'll what we have taken, we'll just write AC I am taking as the ladder. So AC is equal to ladder 5 meter. Then AB as the wall I am assuming as y, and BC at the foot of distance between the wall and the foot of the ladder. Okay, we are taking as x. I have written here ground. They have given us, we are pulling this, so rate of change in x is given, that is dx by dt is given to you 2 cm per second, and you have to find the rate of change in the height, that is dy by dt is equal to, you have to find ABC is a right angle triangle. So by Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. AC square is 5 meters square, so 5 square, this you have taken as y square and this you have taken as x square, call it number 1. Differentiate with respect to t, when you differentiate 5 constant, answer is 0. Y square will be 2y and y will be dy by dt, plus x square will be 2x and x with respect to 2 is dx by dt. Now I transfer this over here, it becomes minus x dx by dt. Then transfer 2y which is here, when you transfer it will come in the denominator, 2 will be cancelled, so you get x by y dx by dt, call it number 2. Again we go back to equation number 1, 5 square is equal to y square plus x square. Okay, they have given us x value as 5, so we 4, so we'll put x value as 4 and find y. So x square value is 4 plus y square as it is plus 5 square is 25. Y square 4 square is 16, transfer this side, so it becomes 25 minus 16. Y square is equal to 25 minus 16 means 25 minus 16 means 9. So y square is equal to 9, so you take square root, y is equal to 3. Now take equation number 2 once again back, dy by dt is equal to minus x by y dx by dt, all the values you have got, so we have to find dy by dx 4 3. Okay, then put the value x you put as 4 and y as 3, minus is there, and dx by dt given in equation it is 2. So when you simplify you get minus 8 by 3 centimeter per second. Negative sign shows that there is a decrease in the height of the wall. Okay, so when it comes down, it is decreasing, so it is negative sign. Question number 11. A particle moves along the curve 6y is equal to x cube plus 2. Find the point on the curve at which y coordinate is changing 8 times as fast as the x coordinate. Here given that y coordinate changes 8 times as fast as x coordinate. That means they have given us rate of change in y with respect to t, dy by dt equal to 8 times change in x by t. So dx by dt, coordinate number 1. Okay, this is given to us. Now they have given us curve and you have to find the point. So let us find the point first. So for that I will differentiate this. So differentiate with respect to t, 6y will derivative is dy by dt is equal to x cube is 3x square, dx by dt and plus 2 is constant. Then I will put dx by dt from number 1 8 dx by dt. So instead of dy by dt put 8 dx by dt. Now dx by dt from both the side cancel and you make x square as the subject. So 3x square, 3 you transfer here. So x square is equal to 6 into 8 and this transfer, so divide by 3. Cut by 3 and 6, so 2 into 8. So 2 into 8 is 16. Now you have found x square is equal to 16. So what will be the square root? X will be plus or minus 4. You have to take plus or minus, both you have to consider. Now first when x is equal to 4, we have to find y coordinate. So put in the equation of the curve. Equation of the curve is this. So 6y is equal to x cube. So x cube is 4 cube, which is 64 plus 2. 64 plus 2 is 66. Divide by 6. So you get y coordinate 11. Then put x equal to minus 4 in the same equation of the curve. So x cube as minus 4 cube, which is minus 64 plus 2 equal to minus 64. 2. Divide by 6, so you get minus 31 by 3. So the points are when x is equal to 4, y is equal to 11. When x is equal to minus 4, y is equal to minus 31 by 3. Okay, so that is the answer. Question number 12. The radius of an air bubble is increasing at the rate of 1 by 2 centimeter per second. Radius is changing 1 by 2 centimeter per second. That means centimeter per second means dr by dt is given. Okay, that is 1 by 2. At what rate is the volume of the bubble increasing when radius is 1 centimeter? So I need volume, so I'll assume let V and R, volume I require and radius, so both I am assuming. Let V and R be the volume and radius of the spherical air bubble. We are given, as I already said, 1 by 2 centimeter per second, that is dr by dt is given 1 by 2 centimeter per second. Now since the bubble is or sphere, so use volume of the sphere. V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Differentiate with respect to time. So V is dV by dt is equal to 4 by 3 pi d by dt r cube. Derivative is 3 r square and r with respect to t is dr by dt. Dr by dt value is given 1 by 2. So put 1 by 2. So you get 4 pi by 2 and they have given r at 1 centimeter. Okay, when radius is 1. So you put r is equal to 1 and you simplify this, you can cut 4 into 2, so you get 2 pi centimeter cube per second. Okay, this is bubble. Okay, then next, so that is the answer for question number 12. Question number 13. A balloon which always remains spherical has variable diameter 3 by 2, 2x plus 1. Diameter is given, so I'll convert into radius by dividing by 2. Find rate of change of its volume with respect to x. Here diameter is given 3 by 2, 2x plus 1. So radius will be d by 2. So I divide by 2, so here multiply by 2 here. So 3 by 4, 2x plus 1 divide by 4. Now volume of the balloon, which is a sphere, so you use volume of the sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi, r value you have to put this. So 3 by 4, 2x plus 1 whole cube. 3 cube, 4 cube. Okay, I am giving. And this also you give. And now you have to differentiate this part. Differentiate with respect to x, dv by dx is equal to 4 by 3 pi 3 cube by 4 cube into 2x plus 1 whole cube. So you have to do first power. So it comes 3 2x plus 1 square. Then you have to do this under this here, this number, okay, under the bracket. So 2 into d by dx of x and 1 is 0. And x is 1. So here remains only 2, that 2 is put here. Okay, 1 4 I am cutting, so here remains 4 square in the denominator. This 3 and this cutting, so here 3 cube. 3 cube is 27, 4 square is 16, here 2 pi, here 2x plus 1 whole square. Cut by 2, so you get 8. So 27 pi by 8, 2x plus 1 whole square. That is the answer for question number 13. Question number 14. Sand is pouring from pipe at the rate of 12 centimeter cube per second. Okay, centimeter cube per second means they have given us cube. The centimeter cube comes for cubic unit comes when it is volume. So this is the rate of change in the volume with respect to time. So what they have given us, dV by dt is given. Okay, according to this unit we can find out that it is given rate of change in the volume. The falling sand forms a cone on the ground in such a way that the height of cone is always of 1/6 of the radius. So when you are pouring, suppose you are pouring the sand, then it is forming a cone. Okay, so cone is formed and the radius, height and radius have got relation. The height remains 1/6 of the radius. Then you have to find height. When you have to find how fast is height of a sand cone is increasing when height is 4 centimeter. So they have asked us to find height. If I take h, it is dh by dt. They have asked us when height is given to you 4 centimeter. So I will assume first, let V, R and H be volume, radius of the base and height of cone. Given that, as I said, 12 centimeter cube per second. Okay, this is nothing but the volume, change in volume. So I'll say dV by dt because centimeter cube per second, so dV by dt is given. They have said height is such a way that it is 1/6 of the radius, so 1/6 r. Now use the volume formula. Volume of the cone is given by 1/3 pi r square h. Instead of r, you put 6 you transfer, so 6h whole square by h by 3, because I have to differentiate with respect to I have to find height, change in height, so I am going to convert this r into h. Differentiate with respect to time, so b will be dv by dt. 6 square is 36 pi by 3. Okay, I am not cutting, first I am squaring and keeping. Here h square and h, so it becomes h cube, so you have to do derivative of h cube with respect to time. So 12, you cut this, so 12 h cube will be 3h square and h with respect to 2 is dh by dt. Okay, now dV by dt is given in your question 12 centimeter cube per second. So I put this dV by dt as 12, this side is 12 pi 3h square dh by dt. Okay, everything you transfer. I want to find this dh by dt as height 4 equal to 12, transfer this, so divide by 12 pi 3h, but h square you put as 4 square, so I have put here 12 by 12 pi into 3 h power 2, so 12 and what? 4 square is 16 into 3 is 48, so 1/48 pi. It is a rate of change in the height but with respect to time, so unit will be centimeter per second. That is the answer for question number 14. Question number 15. The total cost Cx in rupees associated with production of x unit of an item is given by C of x is equal to 0.007 x cube minus 0.003 x square plus 15x plus 4000. Find the marginal cost when 17 units are produced. Marginal cost means I have to find dc by dx. Okay, differentiate this given equation with respect to x, the unit. So marginal cost will be dc by dx. So I will write this c function first, c of x, that is a function of c, and differentiate with respect to x. So dc by dx is equal to 0.007 as it is, x cube is 3x square minus this one 0.003 into x square is 2x plus 15, x is 1, this is 0. Then I just simplify 7 into 3, 0.021 x square minus 0.06 x plus 15. They have asked when 17 unit. Okay, so you put x is equal to 17. So 0.021 into 17 square minus 0.006 into 17 plus 15. Simplify, multiply this for 17 square into this, so you get 6.069. 17 into 6 is minus 0.102 plus 15. Add up and minus, so you get 20.967. Therefore, the required marginal cost equal to 20.967 rupees. If you want to round off, cut this, then you put 97. So that is the answer for question number 15. Question number 16. The total revenue in rupee received from sale of x units of product is Rs is equal to 13x square plus 26x plus 15. Find the marginal revenue when x is equal to 7. So marginal revenue means I have to find the derivative of this function. So marginal revenue is equal to dr by dx. Differentiate, put the first, you write the value of r, the function is given to you, r is equal to 13x square plus 26x plus 15. Differentiate with respect to x, so you get dr by dx is equal to 26x plus 26. They have asked when x is equal to 7, so put the value of x as 7, so 27, 6 into 7 plus 26 equal to 208. Therefore, required marginal revenue is 208 rupees. Question number 17 and 18 is you have to choose the correct option. Okay. So question number 17 is the rate of change of area of a circle with respect to radius at r is equal to 6 centimeter is. They have given us 4 options. Okay. I am not writing the option directly. I am solving. So area of the circle is a is equal to pi r square. With respect to r they have asked, so differentiate with respect to r, dA by dx is equal to 2 pi r and r when r is equal to 6. So put 6, so 2 into 6 is 12 pi. So the correct option is 12 pi. Okay, you should write the option, look in the textbook and you just write it. Question number 18, total revenue in rupee received from sale of x unit of product is rs is equal to 3x square plus 36x plus 5. The marginal revenue when x is equal to 15 is. Okay, so again r is, this is just like the question number 16. So rx is given. Differentiate with respect to x. When you differentiate, you get 3x, 6x, 3 into 2, 6x plus 36 into x is 1, so 36. And when x is equal to 15. So put x equal to 15, when you simplify, you get 126 rupees. I think this is the option D. Next we have, this is the end of this exercise. We have got, we'll just do 2 theory part also. One is increasing and decreasing function. First is the definition. Let I be an interval containing in domain of real valued function f, then f is said to be increasing on I if x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 less than f of x2 for all x1 x2 belongs to I. That means, see, if x1 is less than x2 and if you are put this value in the given function, in an inequality does not change. If less than remains less than, if greater than remains greater than, then we say that function is increasing function. And function is decreasing if x1 less than x2, but when you put in a function, the answer comes f of x1 greater than f of x2. The inequality which is less than becomes greater than. If greater than here becomes less than, then you call it the function is decreasing. Constant function, if it is a f of x equal to c, then we say the function is constant. When x1 less than x2 implies fx1 less than fx2, then the sign change inequality remains the same, then you can, it is strictly increasing. Okay, but only increasing, then you just put here equal to sign. Okay, same way decreasing function, strictly decreasing function, if x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 greater than f of x2. This is strictly decreasing function. Okay, if you want in only decreasing function, then it will come equal to sign here. Okay, so that changes you make, and both this definition is given in your textbook. One it is increasing, another one is strictly increasing, another one is decreasing, another one is strictly decreasing, and then constant function. Okay, so you remember that if x1 less than x2 and the inequality remains the same, then it is increasing, and if it is equal to also is, then the increasing, otherwise it is strictly increasing. And if the inequality changes, then you call it is a decreasing function. Okay, and if it is equal to, if not equal to is not there, then strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. Equal to is there means it is increasing or decreasing. Okay, then we have got one more definition. Let x0 be a point on the domain of definition of a real number, real valued function f, then f is said to be increasing, decreasing at x0 if there exists an open interval I contain x0 such that f is increasing, decreasing respectively in I. So at that here they have given us a particular point. Okay, for the particular point it is. Next we have got a theorem. This theorem we are going to use for the calculation. So we have to know this theorem and use this theorem plus proof we are giving for the first part. Other two parts you can try by yourself. Theorem number 1. Let f be is a continuous on closed interval AB and differentiable on open interval AB, then number A, f is increasing in closed interval AB if f dash x is greater than 0 for all x belongs to AB. Part B, f is decreasing in closed interval AB if f dash x less than 0 for all x belongs to open interval AB. F is constant in closed interval AB if f dash x equal to 0 for all AB. Okay, so we shall prove the first part. Other two parts we can just accept, or you try by yourself. It will be the similar way as I do the first part. So first part A is, in that we assume that f is increasing function if f dash x equal greater than 0. Okay, so this f dash x greater than 0 is given, and we are going to show that it is increasing function. Increasing function means we have to show the inequality x if in x1 is less than x2. Then it's like this: if x1 less than x2, this implies f of x1 less than equal to f of x2, then it is increasing function. Okay, and if not that, then strictly increasing function. Inequality does not change. So that is what we are going to prove now. Let x1 x2 belongs to closed interval AB such that x1 less than x2. Okay, because I have to prove this, so I will take x1 less than x2 first. Then by mean value theorem, there exists a point C between x1 and x2 such that f of x2 minus f of x1 is equal to f dash c x2 minus x1. This we have done in the last chapter. Okay, chapter 5 we have done this theory. Okay, mean value theorem. In that there was a C which satisfies this condition. Okay, so we are using that part first. Now we are going to assume that f dash x is greater than 0. That means we will take that f dash c also is greater than 0. If this is greater than 0, then, and we are already assuming that x2 is less than x1, so this also positive, this also positive. That means this answer also will be greater than 0. Okay, so I will take f of x2 minus f of x1 greater than 0. Why? This is given to be greater than 0 and x1 is less than x2, so x2 is bigger. Bigger minus smaller, answer is positive. Okay, so this positive into positive is positive, so this also is positive. Now just transfer this negative part here. So f of x1 you transfer negative, becomes positive, and if you write from here f of x1 less than f of x2. So what we have found, we started with x1 less than x2 and we have proved that f of x1 is less than f of x2. Therefore x1 less than x2 implies f of x1 less than f of x2 for all x1 x2 belongs to closed interval AB. And this is the definition of the increasing function, strictly increasing function or increasing function. So we can say f is increasing function in closed interval AB, the proof. And similarly you can prove second B and C part. Here I have just drawn some figures for showing the strictly increasing function. Here as x is increasing, y also is increasing. So this you call it as a strictly increasing function. Okay, x is increasing, y also is increasing, this kind of graph. Then decreasing means as y is increasing, x is increasing, y becomes smaller, y is decreasing. So this is the graph for strictly decreasing function. And this is neither decreasing nor remaining constant, neither decreasing nor increasing, remaining constant. So these are the three graphs. X increases, y increases, it remains the constant. Okay, so we'll keep here this much. In the next exercise, next class we shall do chapter exercise 6.2. Thank you very much.